Hey guys, my name is Taya Beyer, and before we get started, I do want to point out that given circumstances, we are in my mom's kindergarten classroom, and I know this background could be a little bit distracting, but I also thought it was very fitting, seeing as how we all just want a siesta after this semester, but now it's time to fiesta because we're on to our big girl and boy jobs. Anyway, so back to the serious things. I did my internship at the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension out of Gillespie County under Brad Rader. Brad is the Ag and Natural Resources Agent. Under him, we did everything from going to stock shows to going out on people's land and talking to them about different grasses, trees, food plots, planting their fields, to how to get rid of weeds and everything in between. We did a lot of going to people's houses and looking at their projects, their animal projects. We helped them figure out how much their animals needed to be tracked, or how much they needed to be fed, or how much less they needed to be fed in some cases. There was all kinds of different things that we did just in the stock show world, along with going to stock shows. My main job at stock shows was to help kids get ready for their classes. Before they go into the ring, we'd wash them. They would go wash them. I'm not washing them. They would go wash them, and we'd come back and I'd start fluffing legs and get them nice and soft for the judge, get them real good fresh feeling. Along with that, we would, I also helped not just Brad, but I helped everybody in the office along with that on days that Brad either didn't have a whole lot going on, or days that someone else had something going on and Brad was just sitting at his office answering emails or phone calls. I helped Shay Nebgen, our family and consumer health agent. It's probably not the right title, but we helped make face masks. I helped her put out different letters to the newspaper, talking about what events she had coming up, like the Walk Across Texas, and her, now she's doing a memory builder class, and I helped her put out that. I also helped Carly, who's our secretary. I helped her answer phones because one of our secretaries had to go home for the current situation due to coronavirus. She went home for just a little bit just to keep her family safe. And so I kind of filled that role in for a little bit. I answered phones, I directed clients, I answered some clients' questions if I was confident in what I was talking about, and other than that, I helped print out newsletters, I helped send out emails, I helped do really anything that she needed help with. A lot of it we did thank yous, and people would come into the office. Our routine kind of switched up. Whenever COVID hit, we normally people just come into our office and we had to close our office down, but we were still supposed to be there for the public. So we had our doors locked, but people would call us whenever they got to the front door. People would have to sign off that they dropped off thank you notes, and call us and let us know that they were there and they dropped off thank yous. And we would come out and hand them a check. And we would have to go through all different protocols to make sure that the checks were sanitized before we were handing them, and we had to make sure that everything was sanitized before the next person could come in and drop off thank yous. So that was a big, whole new ordeal, but it was a very good learning experience, because now if I ever am troubled by this in my extension career, I'm going to know how to handle it a little bit better and know what to look for, along with probably anybody else that's gone through this situation. One of my biggest projects was the Egg to Chick program. Again, the COVID-19 really messed up a lot of our plans for my internship. For the Egg to Chick program, I was supposed to be going into classrooms and teaching kids face-to-face and giving them a better idea of what was happening inside of an egg throughout the process of incubation. Because of COVID, we decided to jump in and do a virtual hatchery. And so I posted videos from day one, which talked about setting up your incubator, making sure everything was running right, and getting it ready for the eggs, all the way to videos of our chicks hatching. I have videos right here I can show you. These are just a couple of them. I don't know what happened. Anyways, you can go on Gillespie 4-H YouTube channel and look at those if you want to. Along with that, another thing that happened because of COVID that was a new deal that was probably a learning experience for a lot of people was the Houston Stock Show got shut down because of it, and it threw a lot of gears and threw a lot of things into high gear. One of those being the stock show itself. The goat and lamb people were very fortunate enough to be able to actually be able to show their animals. Instead of separating the days out into 2 days, we showed everything in one whole day, which was a lot of classes going in and out of the ring. The kids that actually placed were going to be paid off for that. It was a pretty cool experience to be able to see everyone kind of pitching in and throwing opinions in and talking about what route we should go. Being with Brad, he's one of the higher ups in Extension, and he was talking to a bunch of the Houston directors, and so I got to be there right firsthand, almost being right there while they made decisions on what to do and how to get people out of the barn and how to get the heifers that were, half of them were already in the barn, how to get them out, and then allow us sheep and goat people to be able to exit the barn. It was a lot to take in, but it was well worth it. There's been a lot of things that have prepared me up to these moments. One of them, Dr. Poe's class for Extension has taught me a lot about how to be prepared in situations, how to handle clients, what to expect in Extension. He taught me a lot about, I knew that there was going to be paperwork coming into it because Dr. Poe had said, there's reports that you have to do. But along with that, my supervisor, Brad, whenever I first came in, Brad said, I have to do this report, this is how you do it. And I said, oh yeah, this is for such and such and such and such. And then you have your advisory board, and your advisory board's with these people, and you need to have your commissioner on it. And Brad was like thoroughly impressed that I knew these things, and that was thanks to to Dr. Poe, that Brad was impressed by that. Along with that, Dr. Montoya, I had a horticulture class with him, which would be another ag class that influenced my career. You learn things growing up on a ranch about horticulture, but nothing like you need to know for an extension job. There's all kinds of different grasses and all kinds of different plants that came into play that I hadn't heard about, but had I not had a base knowledge on what Dr. Montoya's class was over, then I wouldn't have been as successful to just jump into situations and say, here, let me try or let me help. I helped with our 4-H Plant ID team. I went out on horticulture ranch visits. I helped identify different funguses and different bugs that were around Fredericksburg. Peaches are a big thing, and we had a lot of different peach growers come in with different leaves and say, what is on my trees? And so it was between Beth and I to figure out what was going on. And not to brag, Beth is pretty smart, but I tended to find a lot of things pretty quick. I did beat her a couple of times. We always joked about that. It was kind of a race. Another thing is Dr. Graham's class really helped me be able to present myself in a professional manner. Again, growing up on a ranch, growing up very athletic, I never really thought twice about my appearance, and it was jeans and a t-shirt, no makeup, and hair in a bun. And Dr. Graham's class really, and even the whole block experience, really prepared me to be ready for an office setting. Getting up earlier, putting on makeup, showering in the mornings, fixing your hair every morning. There's all kinds of different things that I learned from Dr. Graham's class that helped me prepare to be able to be in an office every day, which I was not used to. Along with that, I learned how to speak professionally because of all of the speeches and presentations that we had to do in block. This really actually helped me in a situation. We had a new agent come in, and the first 2 weeks he seemed really cool. He was nice and friendly and seemed like he really wanted to help and do anything he could. And then some of his conversations kind of went south and became inappropriate. And I had to be honest about that and talk about what was happening and that I wasn't comfortable with it. And then by talking about it, the 2 secretaries had also felt it and had also felt comfortable. It was so bad that all 3 of us actually went home and told somebody, if I call you and I need you to get me out of a situation, just go along with it, kind of thing. And so we all got together and talked about it, and it actually came up to a point where we had our district boss come in and a lawyer come in with him, and everything that we said and did was very professional, up to our statements, to sitting there across the table from a lawyer talking about what's happened. And that stuff goes on record for forever, so you want to sound professional, and I had never been in a situation like that, so that really helped me be prepared for a situation that I never dreamed that I'd have to be in. Along with that, there's classes outside of ag that's helped me in this process. Biology with Callie Sweat really helped me get a better idea of genetics. Through genetics, I learned that, or I had the opportunity to actually help with a genetic pool for next show season's crop of goats. We did a different genetic testings and figured out which billies to use with what does, and vice versa, and figuring out all that kind of stuff so that some kids next year could have some very good show animals. Along with that, English helped me, again, with writing professional stuff. Along with algebra, algebra helped me a lot with figuring out how to portion out different rations for feed to help, again, animals either gain weight, lose weight, add more protein, do different things that they needed to do, along with knowing what feeds to feed them. Also, through this applied learning experience, it's really helped me realize that just because I had this idea in my head of what extension was going to be, it was a totally different thing. I thought that, every extension agent was the same. It was some country boy, down to earth, who had the same old ideas of everything, and it wasn't very, you didn't change, and every extension agent you meet all had this certain kind of persona. And that was so wrong. Being with Brad, I met a lot of extension agents throughout the state, and came into contact with a lot of different people, and that it really changed my opinion on that. And there's a lot of different people from different walks of life that are agents, and that have a lot of different perspectives that you can learn from. Along with that, so after graduation, today is Thursday, starting Monday, so not quite after graduation, I have actually accepted a job at a local seed and harvest company called Wood Seed and Harvest out of Comfort. I'll basically be doing everything from sales managing, marketing, to going out in the field, hauling trailers, planting seeds, different stuff like that. I'm super excited for this opportunity. It'll be a great experience, and even so right now I've accepted this job because Extension has currently shut down their hiring and putting people in new places because of COVID. So nobody's hiring for Extension right now. So this is going to be a good thing for me to have an experience, so that whenever Extension does start opening back up, I'll have it to fall back onto. Or you never know what God's plans are. I might end up going and being with this company for a really long time, which I really hope I am. It's a really good company to be working for. That's all that I have. I hope that everyone's had a great semester, and I hope everyone has great luck in whatever they do after this. May God bless you always and keep you safe and healthy. Thank you.